boring ass non-gameplay, no decapitation video. This is a full menu walkthrough. I'm going to run through all the different options and settings, and then I'm going to read in full detail each one after I've gone through it quickly in case you don't want to stick around for all the description crap in the beginning. So God of War Recap 218 brings you up to speed on the story. New game. Settings and accessibility presets. We're actually going to do accessibility presets first because it's a clump of settings as a group that have been pre-configured to either default, some, or full. And you cannot individually change each setting unless you go to the settings section of the menu. So let's take a look at it really quick. We got vision, hearing, motion, and motor accessibility. Each category, when selected, will give you the option of having it off, which is the default, going on some, in which down below it'll share with you what has been changed, and then there's full, the extra stuff that's been changed. Again, each individual thing cannot be changed unless you're in the settings section. So imagine selecting one of these and everything looks good, but that one or two settings that you wish you could change. So chances are this is not going to be for most people. Just really quick, because again, you'll have the full list in the settings here. So here I'm going to go quickly through all the shit, and then we're going to read in full detail on the right what it says, okay? Aim assist, puzzle aim assist, puzzle timing, lock on camera, recenter camera on attack, strafe assist, auto pickup, interactive aid, menu holds, minigame style, navigation assist, repeated button presses, skills navigation, traversal assist, tutorial mode, weapon sheathing, touchpad, shortcut, swipe up, right, down, left, up, down, left, right, okay? Axe, reflect visual, controller visualization, persistent dot, and then their color if you decide to enable it, HUD customization, and then all the stuff underneath it that can be changed. And now we're back at the beginning. Yeah, okay, so now let's get into the detail here. So aim assist, pretty standard. Classic points the camera to the closest target already relative to the aim reticle, whereas Classic Plus points the camera to the closest target to the aim reticle from anywhere on screen. Puzzle aim assist, just that, snaps the aim reticle to a nearby puzzle target when aiming. And then puzzle timing. The default is just that, the default, but if you have it on extended or extended plus, it gives you more time to complete puzzles in the environment. This may include slowing down puzzle objects or extending the allotted time window for solving said puzzles. Lock on camera. The classic unlocks when a target dies or when aiming. Targets may break lock with special moves, or if moving out of range when pushing down on the right analog stick. Auto target just does that, locks on, persists while aiming, and switches to a new on-screen target after a target dies, and while aiming, flick to target other parts on some enemies. Reacquires targets when lock is broken, but on the auto target plus it adds an off-screen enemy targeting. Recenter camera on attack. Classic recenters the camera when hitting an enemy with a melee. Give me 1 second. I sneezed like a mad bastard. I had to mute my mic. All right. Priority. Recenters the camera toward the nearest on-screen enemy when swinging a weapon, and also recenters when parrying. Priority plus recenters the camera toward the enemy when swinging a weapon, factoring in on-screen and off-screen targets. Also recenters when parrying. Default is naturally classic. Strafe assist. The camera will automatically track groups of enemies when strafing, aka moving sideways while facing an enemy. Playstyle. Auto pickup, pretty standard. Do you want it so that shit is picked up off the ground automatically? You can have it so it's just the essentials like health and rage stones when needed. Economy picks up hack silver, resources, and loot drops when out of combat. Or do you want the full deal? Health, rage stones when needed. Picks up hack silver, resources, and loot drops when out of combat. I'm probably going to change that because I'm a lazy prick. Choose the button configuration for interact, circle, and evade. I think you can just swap the buttons. Swap, yeah, there you go. See, you can swap those buttons so that interact is X evade, okay? Menu holds, default. Change from default hold to a fast hold to make shop or inventory holds. Actions faster. Minigame style, precision. Move the left analog in a specific direction to complete the minigame. Single button, press circle to complete the minigame. May require multiple presses of the same button. That's good if you got carpal tunnel. You can sort of shake it off there. And auto, after initiating a minigame, it is completed automatically. I ain't got time for that shit. I'm probably going to do auto. Navigation assist. Press R3, sort of like in The Last of Us. Yes, I'm going there again. To orient the camera in the direction of your current story or map selected objective. I'm probably going to do that because if I'm going to be recording some gameplay, nobody's got time to watch me for a half hour trying to figure out which way I'm supposed to go. Repeated button presses. Complete multi-button actions by either rapidly tapping or holding down the prompt button. Skills navigation. Change the method of moving within the skills tree menu between L, like the left analog stick, free cursor, and directional buttons. Selecting directional buttons will remove the ability to quick swap between skill trees. Traversal assist auto includes vaulting, mantling, jumping gaps, and descending ledges. That's on auto. Auto Plus includes the vaulting, the mantling, jumping gaps, descending ledges, crawls, presses, and climbs. It plays the game for you. Tutorial mode. When set to all, more control reminders are shown in addition to the standard pop-ups and notification messages, and when set to minimal, only critical tutorial pop-ups and notification messages are shown. Again, all is recommended for new players or when returning after a long break between sessions. Weapon sheathing. Default, tap on the D-pad to sheath the weapon, or you can toggle where pressing any weapon buttons will toggle between equipping the weapon and sheathing it. Example, use the right D-pad to sheath your axe when in use. Touchpad left-right. Press the left-right button of the touchpad buttons to go to the map. Press the right side of the touchpad to go to the weapons. You can have, so it's press and hold. Press to go to the weapons menu. Hold to go to the map. You can have it so it's weapons only. Press to go to the weapons menu. Or map only. You can have it so that it presses to go to the map only. And then you can change each one here. Leave as none or map as swipe to any of the following shortcuts. So if you want to swipe up, you can have it so it's navigation assist, HUD toggle, high contrast, Spartan range, quick turn, shield strike. Get the idea. Same with the rest of them here. HUD, you could see a preview there at the top right, displays an arc off certain surfaces to show the path of an axe thrown, on or off. Controller visualization. English is not my first language. Enables a display of controller inputs. And then we can choose the visual contrast there for the axe reflection visual. Persistent dot. I like that persistent dot. I'm going to have a medium. Oh, we can't have a big fat dot. And you can see it there. Small or off. Small. You know, it's the little dot. You could see at the top. The top is small. And then obviously the one in the middle in the second row is medium. And then there's large. And then you can pick, the color that you want. I'm probably going to do green. HUD customization. Change a number of settings for on-screen display. This includes compass, enemy health bars, boss health bars, enemy off-screen indicators, combat HUD, gameplay notifications, and aim reticle. Default setting is just that. It's on default. Or you can have it on immersive, and then you can change a bunch of shit. Swipe for the compass and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to leave it on default. So again, compass, enemy health bars, boss health bars, enemy off-screen indicators, combat HUD, gameplay notifications, aim reticle. They're all on by default. But you could turn off all that shit for the real deal. I had to cut part of the video because I was starting to re-narrate aim assist and all that. I was like, bitch, I've already been through that. Okay, now let's go to graphics and camera. Screen calibration, film grain, motion blur, graphics mode, reduced flashing, invert vertical, horizontal rotation speed, vertical rotation speed, aim horizontal sensitivity, aim vertical sensitivity, ambient camera sway, camera shake, and then motion sensor functioning aiming activation. It's on off by default. So now let's go through each one. Screen calibration is just this. Your SDR, your standard brightness, and whether or not you want to favor performance or quality. I already got a video on that. Plus, I forget the exact details off the top of my head as which one is which. Performance is probably going to be 60 FPS, 1080p, or 1440p, whatever my other video said. And then favor quality is probably going to be 30 FPS, I think. I don't remember. For whatever reason, probably because I have a shitty screen, even though it's actually quite amazing, I don't have high frame rate mode, so I can't put that on. Film grain, pretty simple. The amount of grain that's applied to your screen to give, that look to it. So by default, it's on 10. Motion blur, it blurs the motion. Like, it's pretty standard shit. This can actually be a performance hit, so I tend to turn mine down a little bit. Again, graphics mode, it says here, favor performance for a rock solid 60 FPS. Reduced flashing, just that, reduces flashing from moments that have full screen flashes. Good if you suffer from seizures. And then the camera, invert vertical, like it's pretty self-explanatory. Do you want up to be down, down to be up? Are you basically motion dyslexic? Oh, I made it funny. I should have been a stand-up comedian. Although my banner on YouTube does say some comedy, well, that was a little bit of cringe right there. And then invert horizontal, again, same thing. Now the speed at which the horizon moves, how sensitive it's going to be. Vertical rotation speed, same thing. Aim sensitivity, so when you're aiming, how sensitive is it? Obviously, a lower number is not going to be as sensitive, so it's going to slow down shit, like the Matrix. Motion reduction, pretty self-explanatory. Set the intensity of slow, handheld, and other looping camera movements. This usually occurs when idling or traversing. It does not affect cinematic moments. I'll maybe... helps if I could speak. Reduce it by 20%, 2 points. At least I think that's 20%. I dropped out of high school pretty early. Pretty sure that's still fairly accurate. Enable controller movement control of the camera while aiming. So you can activate the motion sensor inside the controller there. So that's like a Nintendo Switch Wii thing, I'm assuming. And then the sensitivity down below. Now we're back at the top. So we're going to back out of that. Audio and subtitles, pretty standard shit. Audio calibration, do you want it to be balanced? So quiets and louds sound dynamically balanced, aka different. You can see the graph at the top right. When you have it on quiet, it'll actually bring down the highs so that things are a little bit more of a flat response, which might actually be good. It's kind of like in my microphone if I go, oh my God! See how I just yelled practically at the top of my lungs to the point where the zombies from Halloween have come back to life? It didn't actually verbally, decibely, is that a word? It is now. I didn't actually sound louder, but you could hear the emphasis that I was louder. That's what quiet does. And then loud is like, oh my God, well, look at the graph. Bam! I mean, it's really going to be loud. So I'd probably leave it on balanced or quiet. And then television, stereo. I can't seem to change this to like headphones mode or whatever for whatever reason. Global volume, everything. Naturally, you can lower the volume of the dialogue, just the music, the sound effects, or the controller speaker volume, which for me, fucking hate that shit. Subtitles, do you want them on or off? What's the color of the subtitles? Right? I tend to like, I don't know, whatever, green. The speaker name is on, otherwise we don't know who's talking. And then the speaker color, we can have it so it's, all these different colors. I'm probably going to go with yellow, and then captions, water freezes, or whatever. Direction indicators, pretty simply put. Display an arrow at the start of a caption or off-screen subtitle that points to the source of the sound, like where's it coming from? So like, like that. It's like, why not? Subtitle and caption size, default. large, extra large. I'm probably going to have it on default. Subtitle and caption background. See? Because it makes it easier to read, right? I'm probably going to put it on dark because it's like... Anyways, yeah. Subtitle and caption blur. See, if you don't blur it, then it doesn't really do as much, whereas that, anyways, makes it easier to read. Excuse me. Plays... excuse me. Plays additional sounds that correspond to various combat and traversal actions. Refer to the audio cue glossary to hear all of these cues. So we can have it on or off, and how loud is that cue. One of the things I hated about The Last of Us was anytime you pinged to know where you should go and go, wah, wah. That was probably a terrible impression. I probably sound like a prehistoric fucking bird that's gone extinct. But then, anyways. Yeah, so that's what that is. So it would ping and you would hear where you should go. So I'm going to have that off for now. No, I'm narrating. Get the hell off my screen. Anyways, you know what that does. Audio panning. Adjust the audio balance between left and right. Pretty self-explanatory if you want all the sound on the left or towards the right. Center pan dialogue. You could character dialogue plays through the center audio channel. This removes panning. This setting is more noticeable on surround sound, right? So if you want to pan, you know, like if you got that 3D shit going on, are you doing audio mono? Probably not. And then do you want voice boost so it's louder? Adjust the audio mix to increase the clarity of character dialogue. This may impact the clarity of the music and sound effects. Voice boost. Should we boost the voice? I don't think we are. Yeah, I think we will. Whatever. Because by how much does it do it? The hell if I know. Text and color. UI, text, size, and color. Like literally in the menu, it'll change how big it is. And then this gives you an example of the icon size as to how big the icon size is in the world. I don't know. Whoops. Small. Default. Large XL. Why wouldn't you want it XL? I mean, that's what she said. High contrast HUD. Off. On. Add a dark contrasting background to UI elements, including health meters, arrow count, meter, blah, 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 blah. Default is off. I can't tell the difference between the two of them, so we'll put it on. And then text language, very important. English, si on le veut en français. Espagnol, la cocolosport, go for the puta. Okay, that's enough of that. Portuguese. The one from Brazil, and then the one from Portugal, because it is different. Italiano. Lingua testi. Okay? And then Deutsch. And then Netherlands. Talschmechtesk. We're just going to stop right there. Polski, Russian, Turkey. Yeah, exactly. I know it. I just can't think right now. I'm on 4 hours of sleep. Arabic. Love that language. Sestina. A lot of text languages here. Like, holy sweet bejesus. Right? Like, there's a lot there. That's Korean. We got Chinese, Japanese, and, like, wow. So that's holy macaroni, my thing's gonna crash. So much language. Let's go back to anglais. And then speech language. Speech we can have, but this one you need to download the pack. So it's English by default for the speech language, at least in North America. I'm in Canada. We can do French, Spanish, Latino America, Portuguese, Brazil. So those are the only vocal speeches that you can have. But again, the text language, wow. Color filter, pretty simple. What filter of color do you want? You can see the examples at the top there. Do you want red, green, green, red? Remember the red, green show? No? Blue, yellow? Okay. Turn that off, and then filter strength right below it. UI color correction. Choose a set of colors to apply to critical in-world UI elements, i.e. block break or unblockable rings. There's default set 1, 2, and 3. You can see it there. I'm going to leave it on the default. And then we've got high contrast display. Choose a high contrast preset to apply a pre-selected palette of colors to a number of categories at once. or use the options below to set categories individually. So yeah, hero color, there you have it. You can have it on high contrast. This is good for people that have some vision problems. You can really make it so that the NPCs look like a solid blob of plasticine. It's very interesting. It gives you some background color even, some examples there. High contrast cinematics. They're on by default. And we've got language. We've already talked about that. Controller remapping. I'm not going to go through all of this, but you can essentially remap your controls. Simple as that. Pretty self-explanatory. Everything can be changed. And then you can view the controls, right? And then there's the accessibility that we talked about at the very beginning of the video. And then audio cue glossary. Oh, that's what they were talking about. Interact cue. Audio cues can be enabled from the accessibility mission for distant hint cues or interact or mash or sun action cue, light attack, heavy attack. So you could choose here, aim closer cue, which ones you'll get audio cues for. Special weapon cue, rage cue. Sometimes it'd be good to have this in the real world, where you would hear a sound in your head when someone's about to rage. And regain control cue, combat audio cue, one for enemy killed cue. I think we could tell when they're dead when they... There, that's the audio cue. You could tell he's dead because he's not making a fucking sound anymore. And that's why I'm not into voice acting. Stun grab cue. Anyways, you get the idea. A cue for every kind of thing you could imagine. Lock on. You can even cue it so it makes a sound when you're near health stone, rage stones, cooldown runes, hack silvers, gained XP, locked item cue, non-rear chest unlock, legendary chest, navigation assist cue. I would definitely turn that shit off. I wish we could do that in The Last of Us, but we can't. At least I don't think you can. All right. Am I done? Please, for the love of God of war and all that's holy. Oh my God, how long is this video? I don't even want to know. As always, if you liked the video and you made it this far, book an appointment with your therapist. You're crazy. And give it a thumbs up because it helps with the algorithm if you liked the video. If you didn't like the video, I don't care. Go ahead. Give it a thumbs down. I'm not a snowflake. Especially in how cold it is here. I'm not melting anytime soon anyways. If you didn't like the video, I've already said that. I need to go back to bed. If you want to subscribe to the channel, you can go ahead and do so. That would be greatly appreciated. But if not, hey, I get it. I understand. I don't blame you. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.